Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
When you hear that everything that's old is new again, it really is true. And it's not just in fashion or fads or trends. It's in decor also. And I mean home decor when I say those words, guys. I bring it up because the other night at the party, the other afternoon at Taylor's graduation party, I hadn't seen your sister Jackie, in a long time. And take you back to some of the things that Murphy and I, got from your parents' home when your dad passed away and you guys cleaned out the house.
Yeah.
One of the things that ended up at our house is called Josephine.
Oh, yeah, right.
And you want to explain to everybody what Josephine is? Who she is?
Josephine is a piece of driftwood that looks like not the Loch Ness Monster. I don't know how to explain it.
It's cool looking.
It's a 3-pronged piece of driftwood so that it's self-supported. So if you pictured it, if you can picture a wishbone, it's like that would be the 2 legs sitting flat on the ground.
Same way.
And then there's one arch that comes from the top and kind of looks over. And,
it looks like a yoga pose, actually.
Yeah. So when we were at the beach one year, it floated up, and my mom thought it was so cool. She just pulled it out of the water, and they decided they were going to bring it home. And so it did. It sat in front of their fireplace as a decoration for the rest of their lives.
And you guys rode home with it and it's big.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
little.
So true. I forgot about that part too. Yeah, because my grandmother was in the car with us, so it was literally 6 of us in the car and a massive piece of driftwood sitting in the middle.
I will never forget the night that you brought that home. It was one of the last things to come out of Dane's house, and you were like, "Hey, Jodi, this is Josephine. Maybe you remember her from my parents' house. Well, now can she come here? Yeah. Can she live here?" And I was like, okay.
And what is so weird about that is I could not get rid of that. I don't think any of the 3 of us would want to do it. Me and my brother and sister would have wanted to have really gotten rid of it. So we had her set up in the house on display for a while, but during Christmas, when we had a ton of family over, we were worried about it getting knocked over. So it's in my office at home.
Well, it also we had some little kids at the house, and we had my niece, Hope, who is a child with special needs, and we try to be very careful around her because she'll put anything in her mouth. She's just very physical, and we didn't want her getting hurt on it
and pieces of it break off too.
Right.
Somebody would have put their mouth on it, right? Yeah.
Right. So Josephine left the family room. It looked really good in there. I do want to say that. I know it sounds like I'm here.
So you weren't hoping that it fell into the fireplace accidentally?
No,
we can bring it back if you want.
It's in your man cave, right?
Yeah.
The last time I was out to visit you in your man cave, going, "Hi, dinner's ready," I looked up and there she is on a really tall shelf. Like, "Hi, Josephine."
Yeah.
I'd forgotten. Well, anyway,
I think my mother put Christmas lights on her one year too.
That's a cute idea.
Yeah.
I bring it up because at the party the other day, your sister walked up to me with her phone in hand and said, "I want to show you something, Jodi." And she showed me a picture that these things are popular again as far as home decor.
What?
Like you can driftwood and things like that.
Oh, really?
Yes. Just maybe it's not exactly driftwood, but just unusual pieces of wood and shaped woods, things that have or whatever found in their natural form, and then I guess they're covered with some sort of sheen or something. It's popular again. And she's like, "Look, Josephine's having a moment again." And I'm like, wow, I guess she needs to have a moment back in the house. I felt like maybe she was asking me, where was it? But I didn't think. And then another thing that we have in our home, and we've had for a while since your grandmother passed away, was the dragon.
Yeah, that used to sit in her front windows.
This beautiful dragon thing. And we have it.
Wait, whoa. Dragon thing.
Figurine.
Like ceramic?
I wouldn't say it's ceramic.
I don't know what it's made out of.
It's not ceramic. That would be too delicate.
Yeah.
Does it
feels
look
heavy.
Chinese or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's teal in color and it's gorgeous and nobody in the family wanted it. And Murphy knows me. He's like, "You want the dragon?" I'm like, "Yes, please." I want the dragon. It's sitting in front of our fireplace now.
Yeah.
Well, your sister showed me a picture on her phone that your cousin Katie had sent her. She was at a store shopping, and there's this gold dragon that looks almost exactly the same.
She sent me that same picture. Yeah.
They're popular again.
Yeah.
Katie's like, "Should I get it?" It reminds me of Heidi, of our grandmother.
Yeah. And so, this is the perfect example of how you don't think about this, even when you're a parent, about the things in your home necessarily that are just decor. It's there. You see it every single day, but it means something to your kids or grandkids in this case. And so when we were growing up in my grandmother's house, and this was a house that my grandfather had built that you've been in too, Sam, that had the floor-to-ceiling windows. The dragon sat at the bottom windowsill, so it was only about a foot off the ground.
Protecting the family.
Yeah, and that's where it stayed. As long as I've been alive, that's where it had stayed. And so growing up as a little kid, if you were sitting on the ground playing with little cars or something like that, the dragon would be there. And everybody loved the dragon. Just
so cool.
Yeah, and so that's why my cousin Katie, when she saw that, it's, through a couple of generations, you get used to that. It's weird how it's special, but it's just because it was there,
Yeah.
Totally. You don't realize it when you said it right on the money with that. Things that mean that they're just decor to you, or just filling a space on a wall or something, mean something to your children because it's a part of their childhood and it feeds into their imagination.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a dragon would have been the same. When we were little, my mom and dad, my dad gave my mom one of those oil lamps.
Kerosene lamps?
Kerosene, I guess that's what I called it, an oil lamp.
Was it glass or was it metal?
I have no idea. I don't know, but
you mean like a hurricane lamp?
No, I don't know I called it.
Was it the kind where the oil came down the strings?
The oil was dripping on the outside, but on the inside there was a naked lady statue.
It was like circular.
Oh. Yeah, it was circular.
Really? I've never seen that.
Mama and Papa had on there. They had one that was sitting on the top of their TV set, and it was like a house or like something with a little turn thing where water was turning, but it was really the oil. But my mom had one that you hang in the corner of a room, and it had a naked lady. And I'm not kidding you. All the kids were like, "Oh my gosh, that's a naked lady." And you could see the boys going around and around trying to get to the back of her and go to the front of her and see what was going on. And you just couldn't forget it. It was unforgettable.
Yeah, I've seen those with like cherubs in the middle. Naked cherubs.
I love cherubs.
But yeah, it's like baby oil or something. It's clear.
They would put oil in it.
And there was little things that come around the outside, like strings, or a metal string, like a guitar string, and the oil would drip down that. So it was just like, it always looked like it was just raining.
It's always in movement. It was always in motion.
So the oil could spill out?
No. It came down the strings.
Okay, all right.
And then it collected in the bottom, and I guess a pump put it back on top.
I'm going to have to look on eBay and see if I can see one of these.
Oh, yeah. They're worth a lot now. And what's so funny about it is, Phoebe, our old soul, who literally, I think both of our grandmothers live inside of her heart and soul. She wants one. And it's like, my gosh, Nana had one with the naked lady. Your mama and papa had one with a farm or something in it. We could have totally passed this down to you, but we, guess what? Got rid of it. Yeah. Thinking, no, it's out now. Yeah. That's why I bring it up with decor, not just fashion. Everything that's old is new again. It really is true. I don't mean to derail us,
but I'm a little fixated here. Why would your grandparents have had a lamp on top of a TV?
Well, I don't know.
It seems like that a light looking into the, you know what I mean?
It wasn't really for lamp purposes. It's decoration.
Okay.
I mean, it happened to have a light in it, but it was more decoration.
Thank you, Sam. I would have never been able to explain that better. Yeah, it's not for lighting a room. Although if you turned off all the lights in the room, the rest of the room, it did look like.
It got even better.
Okay.
Look at that fantastic thing going on.
The way the oil
there.
drips down on the side of the naked lady.
And the reason I know Phoebe wants one, well, we talked about it before. I go antiquing with her when she wants me to. I thrift with her and I antique with her when she wants to. And she saw one day and went absolutely nuts. And I was like, we probably have some in the attic somewhere in the family.
Those little cheap lava lamps came back. Remember? I don't know if they're still around. Target was selling them, Walmart for a while. And the girls
had one for a minute.
Yeah, both of our daughters were into that for a little while.
Yeah. But so I'm not one for keeping everything at all. I like clean spaces and I like my decor to actually mean something. It's funny, too, because the longer you are together as a family or the longer you live, your decor ends up hopefully meaning something to you. Almost everything in our home that's decorative, Murph, is something that the kids made or like something from Heidi's house, like our dragon.
Yes, you're right.
And Josephine. When you first start out, you feel like you got to go buy stuff and you don't. Life is going to give it to you. Like you live your life and you're going to have art from your kids or whatever, a souvenir that you got on a vacation that's going to mean something to you. Don't you have Jazz Fest posters framed in your home, Sam?
Yeah, that's the only art I have.
Well, and that's something that means something to you.
Yeah, if it's a good poster that year, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that reminds me of when Jodi and I were first married, and we were decorating the Christmas tree before we had girls and all that. And I really loved the round colored ornaments and all that kind of stuff. That's what we had as a kid. But I remember Jodi saying early on, well, we don't want to load the tree up with all of these. We need to do the personal family things also.
Yeah.
You'll see every year that'll
like,
get more
what?
special. I'm like, you're right. And so now our Christmas tree has no generic ornaments whatsoever on it.
Yeah.
It's all something that's related to a time, a gift, or
kids made it. Or
yeah.
we buy, or somebody gives you something. When we got married in November, and we got a lot of ornaments as gifts, and I thought that was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were these beautiful glass things that people would sign on the back with a paint pen. Congratulations, November 1999.
First Christmas.
Yeah. Right, first Christmas as a married couple kind of a thing.
When you're talking about decor, the other thing that I thought was super cool at a party we went to this past weekend for Phoebe's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
At our friend Chad and Laura's, they have, it's not all of their furniture, but a lot of their furniture is mid-century modern.
Mm-hmm.
So it's from the
rounded.
1950s and 60s. It is super cool, retro, and it works. I don't know why. Maybe it works because it's rounded and kind of Art Deco or whatever. It just fits into any space. Even the larger pieces are rounded off, so you don't feel swallowed up by the room.
It's not hard edges.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not hard edges.
But I'm always smitten by that time period anyway. I could live in a house that looked like that because that's what my grandmother's house was too.
I know. I don't want us to ever move again, but if we were to, I want you to have that mid-century modern home you've always wanted. And what do I care, as long as I have my own bathroom?
You were talking about when, you first get your house and that, and, don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff. That's kind of what I did. But it was stuff to fill up the space.
Sure.
As the years have gone by, some of those cheap little knicknacks obviously they're gone, because it's like, I got this. And this I'd rather have much better than that thing I just bought to fill a space.
Right.
Of course. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Don't go out and feel like you have to, when you're newly first home or whatever, don't worry that your home doesn't look like somebody who's been, in a home or married for 25 years. It will happen.
You'll get there.
It'll be too much stuff and you'll have to choose.
Yeah.
Right.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.